Hello and welcome back to the Open Cam podcast. My name's Mitchell Robertson. I'm one third of the lovely, handsome, hugely intelligent team here at the Open Can headquarters, and I'm fully well aware that my hat could potentially be on backwards, but today is not about that. Today is sadly the day that I bring you the news that you've already heard, I'm sure, that Frank Lampard has been relieved of his duties as the Chelsea Football Club head coach. Now, as we know, Chelsea are prone to sacking managers. They sacked Carlo Ancelotti in the tunnel after winning the year before the Premier League and the FA Cup double. They sacked Roberto Di Matteo in November after winning the Champions League that summer. It's no surprise really, the writing's been on the wall for quite a while. It's something that after you spent £200 million and broke your record transfer fee for a signing, to be ninth in the league just isn't good enough. And I think, the romantic part of me wants to see Frank Lampard do well. The idea that every club goes down the route of getting an ex-player in as manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Arteta, Lampard, Gerrard potentially at Liverpool soon. It fills the romantic void in my heart that I potentially have. This isn't about romantics, this is about business. And at the end of the day, Roman Abramovich is a businessman. And Chelsea Football Club have went out and they spent over £200 million on assets that Frank Lampard wasn't getting the best out of. And it's as simple as that for him in his head, I imagine. They're 2 points above Arsenal, which, everyone's been speaking about the awful season Arsenal's been having. And for Chelsea to just be 2 points above them probably won't sit right with the board. Bottom line is, it just hasn't been good enough. And Lampard came in with the mindset of wanting to change the culture at the club, and that's something we definitely seen last year. And I hope that continues. I hope that whoever comes in, obviously we know that it's going to be Thomas Tuchel, not very good with names. Sorry boys, I'm letting you down. Sorry Tom and Alex. But whoever comes in next, I hope they keep the idea of implementing youth and homegrown talent, and I hope for the sake of football that it continues that way. And we've seen Reece James come through, Billy Gilmore, Mason Mount. I'm a big fan of Tammy Abraham. These are players that I hope continue to play. Obviously we know Havertz now and Werner are going to be probably first names in the team sheet. Chelsea have come out and said that it's nothing to do with the German connection. I don't believe that to be true. I believe that's got a huge part of why he's came in. Also, he's available. I think had there been fans in the stadium, I don't know if this decision would have been made as easily. I think the fans would have let the board know. And I also think, this easily could have came good. This easily could have turned itself round. The season that's been in the Premier League so far is one we've not seen like this before. I mean, the amount of teams that have been top of the table so far is I'm sure record breaking. But I don't know. Again, boys, I'm letting you down. I'm looking at my facts right. Like I say, I hope to see the future of the club go in the direction that Lampard wanted to take it in, purely for footballing reasons. I hate Chelsea, if I'm honest, but I'm a romantic at heart, and it's sad to see Lampard go, especially after the great season that he had last year. You could also flip that on its head and look back to December, where Chelsea were top of the table. We're only now in January. It's such a crazy season that one game almost feels like four, and I do just wish that maybe he was given a little bit more time. I think these signings obviously have just shot him in the foot a wee bit. We don't know where they his signings. Did they want them? I'm not entirely sure. And as we've seen countless times with different managers, especially in English football, crisis mode kicks in very quick when results aren't going the club's way. It wasn't that long ago that everyone wanted Ollie out of Manchester United. Now they're sitting top of the table. You could also flip it on its head and say that Chelsea are only 5 points away from fourth, which as we know in this league can change very, very quickly. Would things have been turned around? I like to believe they would have. I like to believe that. I think, especially in this league, you can go on a run of games and before you know it, you're back fighting for pole position. Do I think with this new manager coming in that there'll be a drastic change to begin with? I believe there will be. I think we'll see Werner starting to score goals. I think we'll see Havertz playing better. If I'm completely honest, I think Mount will lose his place. I think we see less of Billy Gilmore. I don't think Abraham gets a look in as much. I think we see more of Giroud, if I'm honest. I think he becomes the focal point to allow Werner and Havertz to play the game that maybe they were brought in to play. If we compare this obviously naturally to Arteta and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I don't think Lampard's done any worse than them. Last year he's certainly done better than Ole. I think it's just the nature of Chelsea Football Club. It's a sore one for Chelsea fans. It's Frank Lampard's their greatest player of all time. To see him become manager, the high that brings, to now feel the low of him getting sacked. It's a tough day. But like I say, I think in a business way it does make sense. And as a football fan, it's difficult sometimes to think of the business side of it. But at the end of the day, Roman Abramovich has brought in millions of pounds of assets that he wasn't getting the best out of. In terms of Lampard and another job, I don't believe we see him for quite some time. I think he'll take some time out of football. I know that his wife's pregnant and things, so this was the job I imagine he always wanted. And to feel it come crashing down and to be a part of it, to then not, I think it'll take him quite some time to come back. And to be honest, I don't know what club he goes to. I don't know. He doesn't have the track record. He got the job hugely because of who he was. I don't think we then see him at another Premier League club. And I think to go down to Championship level would be quite a blow, obviously. But I think he potentially could. I think if he takes some time out, then definitely. But I think we'll most likely see him on BT Sport, Sky Sport, doing some pundit roles. But who knows? Who knows what the future will bring? Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. Please leave a comment and let us know what you think of Lampard getting sacked. We want to hear your thoughts and your feelings, especially if you're a Chelsea fan. Click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Give the video a thumbs up if you can. And hopefully you will see Alex and Tomo's lovely face very, very soon. And goodbye.